Hello, and welcome to Breaking Barriers, the podcast where we delve into pressing issues of our time. I'm your host, Ethan, and today's episode is dedicated to shedding light on the plight of endangered species. How does human activity impact biodiversity and threaten the survival of various species? What are the consequences for ecosystems and future generations? And most importantly, what can we do to protect and preserve endangered species? To explore these questions, I'm joined by two distinguished guests. Welcome to the show, Lisa and Andre.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to be here.
Let's start with the basics. What defines an endangered species, and what are some of the primary causes of species endangerment?
Endangered species is one that is at risk of extinction due to a combination of factors such as habitat loss, pollution, climate change, poaching, and invasive species. These factors disturb ecosystems and threaten the survival of species by reducing their population size, genetic diversity, and reproductive success.
I see. How does the loss of biodiversity impact ecosystems and the environment as a whole?
Biodiversity is essential for the health and stability of ecosystems because it provides a wide range of ecological services such as pollination, nutrient cycling, pest control, and climate regulation. When species become endangered or extinct, it disrupts these services and can lead to imbalances in ecosystems, which can have cascading effects on other species and habitats.
That's concerning. Can you give us some examples of endangered species and the threats they face?
Sure. Some examples of endangered species include the Sumatran orangutan, African elephant, Bicuta porpoise, Amur leopard, and hawksbill sea turtle. These species face threats such as habitat destruction due to deforestation, illegal wildlife trade, pollution of their habitats, climate change affecting their food sources or nesting sites, and accidental capture in fishing gear.
It's heartbreaking to hear about these challenges. How can individuals and communities contribute to the conservation and protection of endangered species?
There are several ways individuals and communities can help protect endangered species. First and foremost, raising awareness about the importance of biodiversity and the threats facing endangered species is crucial. This can be done through education, advocacy, and supporting organizations working on conservation efforts. Additionally, reducing our ecological footprint by adopting sustainable practices in our daily life, such as reducing energy consumption, minimizing waste, and supporting sustainable products and businesses, can help mitigate the impacts of human activities on endangered species and their habitats.
Those are actionable steps. What roles do governments and policymakers play in addressing the issue of endangered species?
Governments and policymakers play a critical role in enacting and enforcing laws and regulations aimed at protecting endangered species and their habitats. This includes establishing protected areas, enforcing bans on illegal wildlife trade, implementing sustainable land and resource management practices, and supporting research and conservation initiatives. It's essential for policymakers to prioritize biodiversity conservation and incorporate it into broader environmental and development policies.
Absolutely. Before we wrap up, do you have any final thoughts or messages you'd like to share with our listeners?
I would like to emphasize the urgency of the situation and the importance of collective action. Every individual has a role to play in protecting endangered species and preserving biodiversity for future generations. By coming together and taking concrete steps to address the root causes of species endangerment, we can make a positive impact and ensure a more sustainable future for all species on our planet.
I echo Andre's sentiments. We're all interconnected, and the survival of endangered species is intertwined with our own well-being and the health of the planet. It's crucial to act now to protect and preserve biodiversity for the sake of current and future generations.
Thank you, Lisa and Andre, for your insightful perspectives and valuable contributions to this discussion. I hope our listeners feel inspired to take action and make a difference in the fight to save endangered species. If you have any questions or want to learn more about this topic, please feel free to reach out to us. Until next time, this is Breaking Barriers, signing off.